Onitama pits two players against one another as they fight to outsmart their opponent by defeating the other player's master, or by taking that master's starting square on the opposite end of the board. The game will run you $30 retail, but can be found for as low as $20 online. In the box, you'll find 8 student pawns, 2 master pawns, 16 movement cards, a game mat, and a rulebook. The pawns are all of fantastic quality and feel satisfying in their chunkiness and detail. The player mat included is of high quality, showing that the publisher went well above and beyond in terms of the quality of the components. The cards feel a little flimsy, but communicate the necessary information clearly. The rulebook is fittingly thin, considering the box and straightforward rules. The box itself looks stylish, but is incredibly irritating in practice, as it cannot be conventionally stacked. Still, the box is filled to the brim and leaves no unnecessary room. In Onitama, players are attempting to defeat the other by eliminating the opponent's master pawn or moving their master pawn to the opponent's seat. Each player starts the game with 2 random cards and a third in between the 2 players. On a player's turn, they will move any one of their pawns, following one of the movement patterns designated on their cards. Players needn't worry about moving through other pawns, and instead focus on the end location. If a player moves their pawn into the square of an opponent's pawn, that opponent's pawn is eliminated from the game. After taking an action, that player must swap the card they just used for the card sitting in between the players, constantly changing what actions are available to them. Players continue until one of the 2 victory conditions are met, which will take roughly 15 to 20 minutes. Onitama stands out as being a simpler, shorter form of chess, providing some clever gameplay through well-tested mechanics. The components are marvelous and make the game feel elegant, almost like an art piece, and almost anyone can pick up and play this game, with there being such little barrier to entry. That being said, Onitama does have some caveats that hold it back from being great. The game is themeless and can feel bland to some due to its pure nature. Many of the movement cards are mirrors of one another, making some games feel much more similar than the variety might suggest. While shorter, the game does have the same tone and feeling as one gets from playing chess. So if you're not a fan of the traditional format of chess, this might be easier to play, but it might not be more enjoyable. Additionally, more versed players will always do better against newcomers to the game. In terms of pricing, Onitama, despite its oddly shaped box, gets one of the first perfect scores, simply because this game has such high quality components and a great inlay for the box that holds everything in place. Onitama is a standout 2-player game that should be tried by any fan of strategic, abstract thinking, capturing thought-provoking gameplay in a small box. If you can move past the box itself, the game has some of the best components to date, making it a game that looks as smart as it plays. I do feel there are other, better 2-player games out there, but for the cost of admission and simple yet strategic gameplay, Onitama is one of the strongest experiences in this genre to date. Thanks as always for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw here, and check us out on Facebook and GamesOnTape.com.